Hey there, and welcome back to A Conspiracy of Gods, a custom 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign written and produced by me, DeRay. I'm your DM, and we're about to meet the players. But before we do, I want to offer a very special thank you to Matthew Wexler, the exceptionally talented man that recorded the music you'll hear in this episode and all of the other ones. They were tracks composed specifically for us here at A Conspiracy of Gods, and we are very thankful. Now, let's get back to those players, shall we?
Hi, I'm Chris. I play a dwarf cleric named Calcifer, Forged Under the Mountain.
Hi, my name is Casey. I play Sarathiel Urudir, a druidic elf.
Hi, my name is Joel. I play Fitzwilliam Halifax. He is a gnomish bard, which means he runs around, plays power chords, and shouts at people.
He's also a halfling.
Oh, sorry, halfling. Yeah, I know my character. Tee.
I am Megan, and I'll be playing Solis Galanadel, the Elven Ranger.
Hey, it actually worked. Huzzah. All right. So, you guys, as a reminder, last week you guys faced down a young black dragon who was very intent on murdering the living hell out of Yastin. He was very interested in killing Yastin and devouring her corpse. However, you guys managed to protect Yastin and keep her from dying, although Sarathiel smacked her right in the face with a thunder wave.
Can we not?
Oh, I'm sorry. Should we not remember that you smacked your girlfriend in the face with a thunder wave?
I was trying to hit the dragon.
You did hit the dragon.
Right.
All right. So you guys killed the black dragon, and Calcifer ripped off one of its horns with the pseudo-assistance of Fitzwilliam. Fitzwilliam was there. He didn't actually do much.
Yeah.
And
He was there for emotional support.
exactly. And after that, you guys went into the cave of the Black Dragon, where you found a potion of resistance for acid damage, a potion of greater healing, a potion of growth, and a small baggie with which Solis identified as Dust of Disappearance. You also found about 1,200 gold in this cave. You also encountered some creepy, strange, freaky elves who just kind of pointed solemnly at the end of the cave, which you then investigated and had to resist the corruption of the Rift Fallen. Some, basically enemies of mortals that fought against the creator gods a long, long time ago. But you guys all managed to resist the corruption of their magic, of the Rift Fallen, and Sarathiel kind of stayed outside the cave and was, like, kind of poking at Yastin to make sure she was okay after she healed Yastin. You know.
I was not poking at her.
Oh.
I was cradling her lovingly.
And
Poking, got it.
Poke with a stick, poke.
I was going to say, and the stick you had nothing to do. It was a medical stick.
That can be taken very inappropriately.
Good.
Wow.
Good. All right.
And Casey's face just turned redder than a beet.
No, not true. I don't blush.
So the four of you reconvene outside the cave. Fitzwilliam, Calcifer, and Solis walking out kind kind of disturbed over what just happened. It was unpleasant and very, very not okay. And I want all of you to roll perception checks. And Solace, you have advantage.
Wrong guy. 19.
Okay.
That is a 3.
Okay.
18.
18?
1-8.
Okay. 18?
Yeah, 23.
23. All right. So, Sarathiel, Calcifer, and Solace see a disturbance at the edge of the forest. Fitzwilliam is inspecting the area around the black dragon as its acidic blood kind of oozes out. He's fascinated by the patterns it's making. But Solace, Calcifer, and Sarathiel. I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Solace, Calcifer, and Sarathiel all see this disturbance at the edge of the clearing that you're in, at the edge of the bog, and you see a black bear come trundling out of the forest. It's just kind of clomping its way through the bog, and you see on top of this black bear, Xavier is sitting quite regally on its head.
Nice.
I'm going to turn around and say, Xavier,
Yes,
having fun?
Of course. This cuddly little creature was quite kind.
Who is he?
Do you think I speak bear?
You seem to amaze me every day.
Flatterer.
Oxygen is good. Make sure you use it.
Sorry. So Solace just
Stop
kind of
making your fiance
the
cry.
whole thing is amusing. So she's smirking a little bit, watching her beloved Beorn come glumping through the forest.
You just like the word galumping.
I do. I really do.
It is a great word. Alright. So Beorn, your black bear, kind of waddles up to you through this bog. and,
Nice subtlety.
and it headbutts you. And Xavier jumps off of its head when it goes to headbutt you and lands on Calcifer's shoulders. And Calcifer, you hear in your head just humph. Xavier is deeply put out by this headbutting shenanigan.
Okay. Solace is gonna duck the headbutt just a little bit and go in for a hug instead.
Headbutt it back. Headbutt the bear.
But the bear back.
All right. You
Noggin, dude.
you headbutt Beorn, and is Beorn a he or a she?
He.
All right, and Beorn looks at you, and you see as close to mock insult as a bear's face can get. And then it just kind of rubs up against you, and it's happy to see you.
I say hi to the bear.
Headbutt was pathetic. Is that what I'm doing?
You don't know.
Headbutt was pathetic. Okay. This amuses me.
But you kind of suspect that Beorn kind of came to see you out of just wanting to make sure you were okay. I mean, you did face down a black dragon, and he wanted to make sure, you weren't dead and whatnot.
Beorn. Glad you could make it.
He growls approvingly.
That's one question I do have.
Yes.
Can he and I speak like Xavier and Calcifer can speak, or is it just...
You have some limited communication. Beorn can kind of understand your body language, and he understands simple commands, but you can't have like a full conversation with him. And you can kind of see if he's in emotional distress or things of that nature.
If he had a recent breakup.
Yes, Beorn seems very sad and like he's missing a certain special black bear.
Like he needs some ice cream.
Stop!
He could use some Haagen-Dazs, you know. It's that kind of day. So,
Somebody else needs to get a companion, and we're gonna find him a girlfriend.
Nice!
I'm gonna look up at Xavier and pull the black dragon horn out and be like, "Look what I got."
Xavier inspects it and then looks at you and says, "How nice. Have you got any food?"
You know where it's at.
"Oh, very well." And he sticks his head into a ear pack and starts eating. Okay.
It was always there. I can kind of conjure food.
Wait, you can?
I can conjure food now.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I can conjure food and water. Enough for 10 rations for 10 days.
Nice.
What it was.
And in my favored terrain, we can forage for twice as much food as we would normally find.
That's usually not an issue, unless you get, I don't know, caught in a snowstorm.
Desert?
Or a desert. All right.
We're not in the desert.
Getting
I'm
caught
in
is
the
far.
desert of the horse. No.
Hate to see that happen.
Yeah, it'd just be really terrible, especially if no one had any igloos built or anything. Because they rolled really poorly on intelligence checks or something.
Look, guys, snowman!
Alright. So you guys start heading out of the Dueldian Forest again, and it takes you a couple more days. You know, you were fairly close to the edge, and in all, it takes you about 9 days to successfully make it out of the Dueldian. And when you do, you see the Tanar mountains to the east and the Atlax to the west. And by your estimates, you are likely a week, maybe 2, walking from Karoskan. And as you walk out of the forest, Yastin stirs.
Yes! Can I make a medicine check?
Yes, you can.
Please hit her in the head with your staff and knock her back out.
No! That's a 10! Jesus!
Yep, you knock her in the head.
You cannot tell if Yastin is waking up or if she's just having a nightmare or something like that. She kind of... How is she being carried right now?
It's a great question.
Aren't you a mountain horse walking with her?
Yeah.
Not in the forest, you're not.
You're a Dueldian bear thing with teeth.
With teeth.
Teeth. Grr.
As opposed to all of those bears who don't have teeth.
Correct.
Exactly.
Bear.
You're a bear.
Wow.
What?
Wow. Why did you do that? There were so many things you could have done that wasn't that.
Wait, what? What just happened?
So it
She
brings
said-
a whole new meaning to gummy bear.
I like it. I approve.
Sure, if Beorn will consent to carry Yastin.
Let's find out how Beorn feels about carrying this random stranger he's never seen before in his life.
I mean, I was just
But
assuming that I was
Cassie-
carrying her, and also I can turn into things that can carry her.
Beorn seems too proud and dignified to consent to bearing an unconscious and thereby useless human on his back.
I'm a giant goat. I'm carrying her.
Good deal.
All right. So you, Casey, Sarathiel does not notice in her goat form that Yastin has stirred.
Why?
Because you're a goat.
So?
Because Yastin is on your back and you cannot see or hear her.
Fine.
So Lace tells Sarathiel that Yastin's waking up. She might want to change back into a human.
Okay.
It's a medicine check. Because she was a goat.
It doesn't matter. I didn't notice. It's goat medicine.
to conduct this medicine check.
I'm saying, no, you have to...
Sorry, what?
And so...
No.
What'd you say, Megan?
Thinking you had to be human, and so if she was a goat, she couldn't make a medicine check. So mulligan medicine check.
No.
Yes.
Nope. Nope. In order to do this medicine check, Sarathiel actually gently lowered Yastin off of her goat back and then stepped up to her and just licked her face like 7 times as a goat.
It's a really effective way to check.
It apparently wasn't, actually. So Yastin kind of wakes up with all this goat spit on her face, and she seems...
Passes back out.
No, I changed into a human when Slace told me that she was stirring, and I cleaned her face off.
Okay, so Yastin wakes up as Sarathiel's just kind of scrubbing her face of goat saliva, and for a minute, not Solis, Yastin has no idea where the hell she is, and she's kind of looking around. She's very confused. She's dazed. And then she
Welcome to hell.
she looks at Lucifer, and her eyes get really wide for a second, and then
It's not. Tracy says it's not hell, and then she throws the goat spit covered cloth at Calcifer's face.
Slightly step to the side. Nah, just kidding. We're in the woods.
you're out of the woods now, actually.
We're on the edge of the woods.
Yes.
We're in the metaphorical woods.
Oh, come back.
So yeah.
This is when I wish I knew that song from Into the Woods.
Into the
So Yastin is exceedingly confused by everything that just happened, and she kind of looks at Sarathiel, and she croaks, and you have to get really close to hear.
Oh God, she's dead?
To hear her.
I also give her water when I hear that she's struggling.
As soon as the water touches her lips, she tries to grab hold of your water skin and pour as much into her mouth as
Nope.
she can.
Nope.
You should have
Sips.
given her ale.
Yes, ale. Ale will fix this.
Ale fixes everything.
I only let her take, like, sips.
Okay. You also, finally, now that she's woken up, you notice how emaciated she looks right now. She hasn't eaten in like 9 days, so she's not doing... She actually seems a little bit delirious when she kind of wakes up and gathers where she is. She seems delirious to you.
Okay, well, I give her food also out of my pack.
Okay. It does not solve the delirium problem right away.
Yeah, well, okay.
No, I understand. I'm just telling you that she's still a little delirious. She hasn't had food.
Told you should have given her ale.
She has not had food or water in 9 days. It's not going to magically disappear. Although, I mean, there is magic. Not the point here. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have that magic cure delirium spell.
No, but... you don't have any potions of healing except for the one you found in the Dragon's Den. You also don't know what that would do.
I can cause delirium.
Don't extra delirium.
Just go make it worse. Go ahead.
Alright, so I'm assuming you guys kind of want to head back to Koroskan?
Well, we do have
Yep.
to drop Yastin off.
Okay. And for Fitzwilliam's knowledge, because I'm certain he's keeping very minute track of this, by the time you get back, you would have about 9 weeks before the wedding in Eisenhold.
Oh, thank God.
All right. So you start heading back to Karoskan, and Yastin kind of remains pretty weak. You feed her, you give her water every day, and she gets stronger as the days pass. And she's not very talkative though. She's kind of within herself. She's kind of sunken in and just trying to, I guess, Sarathiel, you would guess, kind of process everything that's going on. And Solace proves adept at maintaining your food supplies, and you kind of follow the Volosna River back toward Karoskan. At night, you guys all sit before the campfire, kind of lost in your own thoughts, but occasionally sharing stories with the group.
Considered a long rest?
Yes, this is the long rest. And Chris, this is a campfire. If you would like to, you don't have to, though. I just thought I'd offer you the option.
Actually, yeah, I do. I want to...
This one time at band camp.
Are we talking about what we were talking about the other day?
Yes.
Okay. I'm actually gonna... Calcifer reaches in his bag and pulls out the box and the note that was given to him, or the book. He flips open, slides the page out, and opens up the box and reveals to the group the ring. And then goes to telling that this ring belonged to his father. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Apparently.
We're just enraptured.
Okay. Then I'm going to kind of like muddle through like I'm doing now and say that it was actually part of his horn, and I haven't been able to find it since the last time I saw it when I was a young kid. And then I'm just going to take it. I'm going to pull out the dragon's horn and slide it over the mouthpiece, and I'm going to twist it down until it sinks into place.
All right. You have a bit of a hard time at first getting the ring to stay on. It's, it was made for different kind of material, but after a few minutes, you kind of figure this out, and you manage to get it to not screw into place, but stay in place, and it's fitted properly.
Cool. Anybody have any questions?
What's the significance of this?
Of the ring or the horn, or yes?
Both.
Well, if you noticed, I did know a few people whenever we were in the city, my family once ruled that kingdom. And
Solace is lost because she was not there for that.
True facts.
Well, that explains a lot.
The guy that we captured, the shirt he was wearing was actually the sigil of my family.
So were you related?
No. I will
So,
say that. Fitzwilliam.
DM says no.
Fitzwilliam.
Yes.
You know that the former rulers of the Tanar clans, the Idan family, were suspected to have been assassinated in an attack that involved... There is no specific word, like you didn't get reports describing exactly what attacked, but the report said it was definitely not like other actual dwarves or things like that. Something else assassinated the royal family.
Okay, so I turn to Calcifer and say, do you mind me asking, what was it that day?
That killed my family?
Yes.
I only... From what I've been able to piece together, they were demons.
Okay.
One of them was a shapeshifter.
Were you not there? Is that how you managed to survive?
I was there, actually. I was the one that I say was a shapeshifter turned into a dragon, and I guess pulled me out of my bed with a trance. All I remember is I went to sleep. Next thing I woke up to my brother yelling and seeing my parents lying dead on the ground. And whenever he yelled, he alerted the royal guard who broke in. And I ran and ended up making my way to the family chapel. Once I got in there, they tried to pursue me, but as soon as they walked through the front door, a flash of lightning struck, and they couldn't enter.
Okay. And I guess the other thing I'd like to know is, what now? Do you have any ambitions to retake what was once your family's?
I have a sneaky suspicion that, somebody sent the demons. I want to know who sent them, and I want to know who the demons were.
Okay, but no royal ambition?
I denounced my throne once. Well, I was the youngest, so being the youngest of two, I denounced. Well, I had no right to the throne to begin with, so I guess I didn't really denounce it, but I didn't have any right to it, and I left afterwards. So, not at this time, no.
Okay.
Demons are considered demons, Megan. They're a class of their own. Or a race of their own, I suppose.
The demons are demons.
A genus of their own?
Yeah, something like that. So, if you're talking about a favored species, you would have to specifically select demons.
Considering monstrosities, I hadn't selected a second one, but since we have come across dragons, I was considering that. Mm-hmm. But if for monstrosities, I would offer my services in revenge.
No,
plots.
Demons are not monstrosities. Monstrosities are something else entirely. Like a basilisk is considered a monstrosity.
Okay.
But the significance of this is my father had a horn, and his horn was kind of prized possession. He got his name because there was a massive battle, and he used his horn to rally and overcome. So, once that night happened, I wasn't able to ever go back and find it.
So are you looking to reclaim the horn, or are you just looking to replace it?
He has the horn now, right?
No.
No, I have a ring from the horn. The letter told me that this was the ring. This is one of the rings from your father's horn.
Okay.
The horn is above the mantle, or on the mantle above the fireplace.
I believe it's above the throne.
Throne?
Yeah,
okay.
Throne.
I thought it was. So I would love to have the horn back. But until then, I'm going to make one of my own.
Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Meanwhile, Soleil sits there having no idea what the hell is going on.
Exactly. But Soleil appreciates the horn because here the elves will have heard of her.
Megan, you're cutting out a little bit.
Can you hear me better?
Well, I could hear you fine. It's just you'd cut out mid-sentence. So.
Well, shit.
So could you just go over what you just said one more time, please?
Well, Solis may be in the dark, but she can appreciate the dwarven affinity for the things like the horn because, and I am assuming a little bit here, but as an elf, she will have heard of. So she will have at least heard of. I know, she will have heard of the dwarves' proclivity for creating. And she'll appreciate that aspect of it.
Yes, definitely. All right. Anyone else want to share a story around the campfire?
Nope.
So it was a dark and stormy night.
Now would be a good time to ask any questions you have of each other as well.
See, there's this problem where, it's like, do you want to share, or...
Well, for example, a question that, I don't know, someone might want to ask is, why Sarathiel's known in Coruscant as Aurelian Bane, for example?
Nope, no one wants to ask that.
I mean, I don't have that question.
Fair enough.
She doesn't know yet.
Yeah, also Solis doesn't know that, so...
True. And Calcifer probably wouldn't care.
I mean, Xavier might.
Although, Sarathiel does know that I know.
Yes.
I know that you know something.
Well, here. Maybe we can sort of backtrack a little bit. Solis would like to know who the unconscious young woman is and where she comes from.
Yastin is sleeping.
That's a really good question.
Yastin is sleeping soundly next to the fire.
Fine. Solis would like to know who the sleeping young woman is, why she was unconscious previously, and where she comes from. And how she got that way in the first place.
So...
It was a drunken night. Two women lay by the lake under moonlight.
It was a dark and drunken night.
I mean, it was...
That's how my story started.
Yeah, it was drunk for some of you.
No, so, would the proper term be girlfriend in this universe? I don't know what they would call it. Whatever. This is my girlfriend, Yastin.
Your paramour?
Yeah, sure.
You saucy wench.
Excuse me, Sarathiel is the saucy wench of this. That's completely untrue.
Neither of you owns a bar, so you can't be a saucy wench.
Yeah. Anyway, she is a grandmaster in Coruscant at the university, and we were attacked in her office by a gnome carrying some gems which released an air elemental and please help me, what was the other thing? And a shadow demon. Thank you. And she managed to transport us out of her office into the forest where you found us.
My temple.
Yes, your temple.
I would like to point out that the proper term would be teleport you.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't know.
Fair
Teleport.
enough.
She teleported. And then she was unconscious because it took a lot of energy.
Solis is just taking this in. What to make of it yet?
Jazz hands.
Solis, you would know.
Ta-da!
You would have heard about the Tower of Coruscant, the basically center for magical studies in the surface lands, and you may not have heard specifically of the Grand Masters, but you know some very, very powerful magicians live and work in the tower. And that's really all you would have heard about it.
Still there.
Yeah.
Yastin is human, correct?
Yes. As far as you can tell.
As far as we can tell. Which is all that you will say whenever anyone brings it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nudge.
Solace, you also notice that Yastin is one of the most singularly beautiful creatures you have ever seen in your entire life.
Was she really that pretty?
Yes.
Ooh, ouch.
I didn't.
I'm 430 years old. I don't know if I can appreciate human beauty all that well.
That's fair. You can appreciate that she is one of the most beautiful humans you've ever seen.
Okay. I'll accept that.
I'll allow that. Magic freezes.
Just a comment on it?
No. That's just what she looks like.
She has copper hair, and that's kind of... She's impeccably dressed, so...
Merida.
She is fashion.
She is divine. She is Miss United States.
True.
All right.
My Brave reference
She's
went over
beauty.
your
She
head.
is great.
I didn't hear your Brave reference, sorry.
Oh, Merida.
And I said,
get it.
Merida.
Yeah, I get it now. Okay, so this is kind of the pattern of you travel. You travel during the day, you bunk down at night. It starts snowing. It isn't snowing very hard yet, for which you are very grateful because you know southern winters are horrendous. And
Can I take time to heal Yastin every night when we're settling down?
I mean, as far as you can tell, she doesn't need healing. She just needs to eat and kind of recover her strength.
Okay.
There's
I make sure
Can I
she
use
eats extra.
Song of Rest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All of
I make sure that she's being well rested.
Yes, definitely. As far as you can tell, she sleeps well and she's gaining her strength back quickly. Although, again, she's still very quiet. She's not talking very much.
Understandable.
So, as you travel, one night, you have some very strange dreams. Solace, you dream that you are a great eagle soaring high above the world. You can feel the wind currents around you. Feel them so well, you can almost see them. But something is wrong. The wind is wrong. It catches in your wings as it shifts, and it seems like it's filled with death. But none of your keen senses can note anything off until your wing feathers start molting off. Everywhere the wind touches, your feathers die and fall until you yourself are plummeting from the sky, unable to catch yourself no matter how hard you beat your enormous wings. You wake up just as a strong breeze rips through the clearing you're camped in. Calcifer, you stand at the head of an army of thousands, men and women of all races looking to you for leadership. The ordered lines raise a cry in unison as the march begins. You feel certain of yourself, more certain than you've ever been, and you know that nothing can stand before you. But as you march, the lines of soldiers fall apart, no matter the commands given, no matter what you try. And as the disarray spreads, the army behind you begins dying off. You can't determine the cause, but everywhere you see disarray, you see men and women falling dead. And just as panic starts to take hold of you, you wake up, and for a moment, it looks to you like the stars are in the wrong place in the sky. You blink a few times, and they seem to right themselves. Fitzwilliam, you find yourself sitting in a fine home, your home, as you pluck at the strings of your lute, just practicing, playing around. And around you, you see the trophies of your travels and your victories as they hang upon the wall and in cases. And as you practice with this loot, however, you suddenly remember a door in your basement that you've never opened. It slipped your mind in the past. But you find yourself drawn by the mystery behind this door. What's back there? What could be? And you go to the basement to find out. And as you approach that door, you find it ever more enticing. Things you've never seen or understood suddenly at your fingertips to understand, to see, to feel. And you open that basement door. And as you open it, pulsing shadows pour out of it, consuming you. And you wake, and for a moment, the shadows of the clearing seem to form patterns. But after a few seconds, those patterns disappear, and the clearing returns to normal.
God damn it, Dre, this is too perfect.
Sarathiel, you are surrounded in a field by the bodies of everyone you have ever cared about and everyone you have ever killed. Blood rains from the sky as thunder cracks above. The ground muddies and you begin to sink in, blood and mud filling your boots. A swirling vortex forms around you of bodies, of blood, of earth, and of energy. There's no pattern here, no sense. To watch this vortex is madness, but you can't look anywhere else. The ground suddenly seems to turn to fire, then ice, then clouds, while this vortex shears through the world itself, shifting form through everything imaginable and several things that can't be imagined. And as the world itself seems to dissolve, parts of it becoming as cotton candy, while others become diamonds and things seem to fragment and become fantastical. All the while, death and destruction is in everything that is changed. You come out of your meditation. And for a moment, the world seems to be simultaneously melting and exploding. And it takes you several minutes to clear your mind and come back to your senses. And as the four of you wake and kind of come back to yourselves, you see the sun is just beginning to filter through the trees in the west.
Yep, that about sums it up.
In the west, sorry, is that normal for this?
Yes, the sun rises in the west.
Okay, thank you.
Must have been some bad ale.
Everything comes back to the ale.
Obviously.
Megan, if you said something, we couldn't hear it.
Does anybody else feel like we need to get moving?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Break.
Xavier is curled up, sleeping soundly on Bjorn. Or Beorn, sorry, not Bjorn.
Bjorn.
It's not that Scandinavian. No, he's curled up and sleeping soundly on Bjorn, who seems totally undisturbed.
Yeah, we pack up camp and head on.
All right.
What about Yastin? Does Yastin look like she had a dream?
You look over to Yastin, and she is almost tied into her blankets. She is tossed and she's turned and she's sweated through her blankets, and the blankets are kind of, you know, if you thrash in the night, how your blankets tangle up around you, she looks like that.
Kind of walk over to her and ask her if she's okay.
She nods, but looks distant.
I hope her, pack up her stuff.
She kind of sees your worry and kind of your fear, and she takes your hand and she squeezes it for a minute as you help her up, and she kind of does what she can to help pack up camp.
While you do that, I'm gonna wake up. Solis is gonna wake up Beorn.
All right. Beorn wakes up and he gives you a nice long lick of the face, as is his prerogative. And then
Calcifer's gonna call to Xavier to wake him up.
Xavier woke up when Beorn woke up, and he flies over and sticks his head in your pack to start eating, and he kind of gives you a morning. So,
how far are we from Coruscant at this point?
At this point, you're a few days out still.
Days, okay.
Okay, so you continue on your travels. You're still heading to Coruscant, and you're getting closer. And at this point, Yastin seems to be mostly recovered. She still sleeps more than normal, and she seems often distracted and distant. And occasionally, Sarathiel, you catch out of the corner of your eye. She looks very weak, but pardon. That seems to pass fairly quickly when you do see it.
What kind of terrain are we on right now?
The plains. You're on the central plains of Ilios. Well, no, you would actually have crossed over the Tanar Mountains. You would have gone through the pass, which was no big deal. It hasn't been snowed in or anything yet. So you would be in the southern western plains. It's a bit rocky, but still pretty lush.
Okay. When I see Yasin looking weak, or look like she's struggling a little bit, I offer to turn into a horse and give her like a break.
She looks at you and she says, hang on, I gotta remember her accent.
Southern.
I know, but I have to. She says, I don't need the help, but thanks.
I know you don't need it, but sometimes it might be nice.
I'd rather walk, darling.
Okay.
I've been useless for too long.
Oh, you're never useless.
I slept for 9 days. You fought a black dragon.
And
In
we
defense,
won.
You did port us halfway across the world, saving us from 2 elementals. Well, possibly saving us.
And I put you in the path of a black dragon. I didn't save you from anything.
We met a new friend.
We put ourselves in the path of the Black Dragon.
Technically.
She kind of huffs and just starts walking. Alright. So you keep traveling, and when you guess that you are about a day out from the city, you feel the entire ground shake beneath your feet, and you hear the sounds of enormous horns blowing from the direction of the city. And Sarathiel and Fitzwilliam, you two recognize this immediately, or you recognize it from stories you'd read. And you recognize it or think that it is the warning horns of Coruscant, a safety system built by the First Empire should the walls of the city come under siege.
Well, shit.
Meh.
Wow, rude.
Excuse me.
I
What
just
do
say
these horns
that's
mean?
not good.
Yastin immediately looks alarmed, and she looks at all of you and she says, "We need to get over there now."
Okay.
And we're still a day away?
You would guess so, yeah. You could maybe cut it to half a day if you went on a forced march and didn't take breaks or anything like that.
DeRay,
Yes.
how many people can a large animal carry?
It depends on their size.
Large.
No.
The people-
The people size.
The people.
Yes.
The people in my party.
So you have 2 medium people? No. Yeah, because Yastin. So you would basically be able to either carry both Solace and Yastin, or you would be able to carry one of them and both Calcifer and Fitzwilliam.
Shit.
Don't carry me. No point.
Lace?
Sorry. Xavier to Calcifer says, "Well, I hadn't heard of those horns going off since... Well, I haven't heard of those horns ever going off."
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm trying to find out, but no one wants to talk.
They're the horns of the First Empire. They were built as a safety measure of some sort, something to alert the citizens. But they didn't go off even when that upstart, what's his face? That you know the one, laid siege to the city. What was it? 1,000 years ago? 500? Whenever that was, I really can't remember.
Okay. Well, we need to get there quickly, I guess. You have any ideas?
What do you expect to be able to do?
How about the teleporting human over there?
I was going
Seems
to-
fine.
I'm gonna ask Yasin, would you be able to get yourself in there?
She looks at you and she says, "Well, I really don't think I could do much good by myself. I'm not exactly in fighting shape."
I can get everyone else there, but I can't carry all of you, and I don't know if you're recovered enough to teleport the rest of us.
Well, I would say that considering the last time I teleported 5 folks, I almost died. That seems like a poor idea.
I'd rather not that happen again.
Gee, thanks. Neither would I.
Sassy in her unconscious state. DM Dre.
Yes.
Can Bayorn, being a medium creature, carry another medium creature?
No, but he can carry a small creature.
That's true. Can Bayorn, being a bear, keep up with a giant owl?
That's flying? No!
Yeah, because that's what I was going to turn into.
His speed is 40 feet.
Okay, hang on. As a giant owl, as a bird, you could carry a small creature on your back and then have your talons in like 2 medium creatures and carry them that way. Landing would be hard, but you could do it.
Well, I would just have to fly low enough to drop the 2 creatures in my talons.
True.
So basically what you're saying is that I could carry Solace and Yastin and have Calcifer on my back and have Fitzwilliam riding a bear.
I mean, basically, yeah.
What
What do you expect to be able to do in there if there's a force large enough to breach the walls?
Fitzwilliam, roll intelligence.
That's a 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna also roll intelligence.
Okay.
I crit failed.
You actually would have advantage, Sarathiel, having been part of the Thanish army.
Oh. Nice! I did not hopefully crit fail. 12.
Alright. Sarathiel, you remember from basically the minor education the army gives you that the warning horns of Karoskan did not go off when Nalam had his army besieging the walls of Karoskan. So you don't know what's caused these to go off, because they didn't go off when an army was there, and they were certainly built and working at the time, because they were built by the First Empire.
I say, we don't necessarily know that it's a besieging army, just that it's an emergency.
I guess I just don't see what we would be able to do to help the situation.
We don't know what the situation is.
We know it's big enough to warrant the bells.
Horns.
Or horns, sorry. I was thinking of Hunchback for a moment there.
Well,
what's Solis's...
I'm sorry, what's Solis's what?
What does Solis's keen senses get her? Can she hear anything else?
No. No, you can't. You heard the horns. The horns have stopped, and you don't hear anything else. You particularly don't hear any of what you would assume would be the normal sounds of an army besieging a city.
Well, my family's in there, so I'm going.
But your lover is out here.
Can we force march it for 4 hours, y'all?
We can put Fitzwilliam on the bear. I can get us 3 hours closer flying, which is quite a bit of distance.
Sarathiel, you do some mental arithmetic, and you figure that if you flew, you would be within at least sight of the walls in 3 hours. So, like, this would be doable within a day if you flew and or forced marched it.
I can't fit both Fitzwilliam and Calcifer on my back as a giant owl.
You could fit them, you would be too heavy to take off.
Damn it. I'm still down for the put Fitzwilliam on a bear plan.
That's kind of up to Fitzwilliam.
That's true.
I mean, it has been a lifelong dream of Fitzwilliam's to ride a bear, so...
Okay, Calcifer, how are you feeling about this riding on an owl thing?
I've rode a volcanic turtle. I've rode a dragon.
What?
Let's ride an owlbear.
That is true. Calcifer did ride a dragon turtle.
We all rode the dragon turtle.
True.
Or for another campfire. Solis wants to know.
All right.
Okay, so Solis is going to ask him to do her a favor, him to the city of Koroskan, because there's an emergency and we need to get there faster than our legs can take us.
Beorn licks you he licks you affectionately and kind of eyes Fitzwilliam for a moment, walks up, sniffs him, licks Fitzwilliam in the face, and then kind of nods.
You have passed lick muster.
Fitzwilliam, Beorn, Fitzwilliam. Carry on.
Beorn,
I jump on Beorn's back.
Beorn lifts a large bear paw before you do that.
Oh, okay. I take it and shake.
Good.
He nods again and then positions himself so you can climb on.
Okay, I jump on.
Okay.
Calcifer takes this moment to pull out one of the gallons of Longhammer and offer it up for anybody.
I'm not going to be flying drunk, so...
That's good
Don't
for
drink
you.
and fly.
Beorn walks over to you and kind of nudges your arm with his snout a little bit.
I lean it down to where he can try
But
it.
he has -4 intelligence, so
No.
how well is this gonna go?
Normal black bears have -4 intelligence. I never said that Beorn was normal. Beorn kind of sticks his tongue into the long hammers, and he takes a few laps and kind of nods, and he kind of trundles off a little bit off kilter, just a little off kilter though.
Fitzwilliam turns and says, "Gee, thanks, Calcifer."
You're welcome. It'll make him run faster.
Fitzwilliam, you see Yastin kind of approach, and she kind of nods a little bit at you, and then you see her press a hand under Beorn's fur, and okay, you feel this weird vibration of energy that kind of starts coursing all through Beorn.
Okay. Whatever that did, I'm a little nervous about it.
All right.
You might want to hang on.
She installed a supercharger. It's okay.
Okay. Sarathiel. Sorry.
All right. Sarathiel pooped into a giant owl.
Okay.
Calcifer takes a long swig of the long hammer.
All right.
And puts it back in his bag.
All right. And do you climb on Sarathiel's back?
Yes, I do.
All right.
The meter is running.
Yastin looks at Sarathiel and she says, "Don't drop me."
I shake my head.
All right. So
and then I kind of hover just high enough to pick up Solis and Yastin.
All right.
And Solis would like you to know
very gently by their pack straps.
Yes.
Just letting you know, I can wield some lightning here, guys, so if we come into trouble, it'd be like Harry Potter all over again.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to electrocute the owl.
I'd be okay.
Like Harry Potter.
Don't you?
Wow. Too soon.
Okay. Solis, this is deeply uncomfortable. You are just physically uncomfortable as you're lifted off your feet. It's not comfortable.
Sorry.
It's all
Sorry,
right.
guys. I take off in the direction of Kuroskan.
And you look below you, and Beorn is keeping up with a giant flying owl.
Nice.
And he doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. Fitzwilliam, this is also the smoothest ride you've ever had. Certainly smoother than when you're on Winifred, if nothing else.
Don't tell Winifred.
No, never.
I need a constitution check from Solis.
Do not make me Ralph while flying. That is a 20, not natural.
Okay. Solis, you get a little bit nauseated as you're flying around, but you manage to, you're pretty used to being on ships and how that motion works, so you kind of figure out your equilibrium pretty quickly. However, next to you, you see Yastin just throw up her breakfast off to the side so it doesn't come anywhere near you. And
Sarathiel feels really bad.
And
why?
Solis just scoffs in disgust.
Fitzwilliam, you hear Yastin's breakfast come down behind you.
Oh, God.
I laugh.
Wow!
All right. So
What's Calcifer doing?
Calcifer's having the time of his goddamn life.
That's what I thought.
Calcifer, next time we're trading. I need as many mounts as possible for my collection.
I will happily ride a warbear.
Yes. Xavier is flying right alongside of you, keeping up. You're kind of having a discourse. You're talking the finer points of brewing and what makes the best ale, and Xavier seems to know a hell of a lot about this. So
good. I'm going to continue talking, and I'm going to pour him a drink while we're on the back of this owlbear.
No.
It's not an owlbear.
Yeah, he's a flying owlbear.
Just an owl.
Roll dexterity.
Dexterity, okay.
And not splash anyone in this equation.
19.
All right, you manage to, with just your legs, hold on to the back of this owl, and you manage to basically gauge how fast you're moving and the momentum as you're pouring this drink, so not a drop gets spilled.
Professional drinker here, guys. Come on. Professional.
All right. So, this is what's happening. You're flying, and after about 3 hours, you see the walls come into sight. You see Beorn start to slow down behind you as Sarathiel begins to descend, because her spell only lasts a certain amount of time.
Right.
Oh shit!
Dive!
And so this is just about, it's almost noon as the walls of Coruscant come into sight, and you suspect you have about a half hour to an hour's walk to the walls.
You're welcome.
Do we see any smoldering anything?
No, you do not.
No smoke.
No
Can I
smoke.
do a
Do we
perception
see anything?
as we're
Ditto.
Okay, so
as we're descending, like while we can still see it from the air?
okay, yeah, roll perception.
That would be a 13.
Okay,
18 for Solace.
Solace, you see two figures in black atop the walls and two figures in black on the ground, and they're fighting with something as best you can tell, but you really can't identify what it is.
It's my people.
Yeah, but Sarathiel doesn't know that, because Sarathiel didn't see anything.
Shh. Sarathiel has actually wait, hold on. I rolled with. I need to roll
The owl? Yeah.
the owls.
Cost rolled a 17.
You also
Oh,
see two figures in black on the walls and two figures in black on the ground.
I have less to my perception anyway.
Okay. You still
Okay.
don't see anything. Yeah, you.
I have
Continue
hella
diving.
stealth though.
Yes. So I assume you guys kind of finish off this walk and you get within visual range.
My arms hurt.
Yeah. Yastin looks queasy and uncomfortable and just not, she's not having anything else today.
I'm definitely talking to Fitzwilliam about how awesome it was to ride a flying owl. Massive.
And
owl.
I'm just gushing about riding a war bear.
Hey, I'm cool with this.
So Fitzwilliam, as you descend off Beorn, he licks you 4 or 5 more times. He seems very pleased with his performance and the fact that you rode him.
I scratch him behind the ears.
He nuzzles up against you and
Don't be getting any ideas.
We're best buds, basically.
Taking my companion.
all right. So you guys kind of finish
Oh,
off this.
wait, can I do one more thing?
Yeah.
I hold out a fist.
Beorn lifts up his paw, and he can't really do like a fist thing, so he just kind of plops his paw on top of your hand.
That's
Good.
Good
awesome.
enough.
All right.
Did you just fist bump my bear?
Yes.
Beorn looks at Solace with an expression that Solace you basically interpret as, why don't you ever ride me?
I tried and you wouldn't let me.
All right.
All right, you're big.
So you guys kind of continue forward, and you get about 30 feet away, and from the walls, so you can kind of see everything that's going on. And as you're approaching, as you're getting closer, you see a flash of fire engulf a creature that's standing before the walls, as 2 arrows sprout out of its eyes, and you see
Solid.
you see a very small figure literally slice one of its legs off with a shield. And,
Don't fucking mess with my motherfucking clique.
and as this is happening, you see another figure basically riding down this creature's back with 2 daggers in their hands, and just like on either side of this thing's spine, just coming all the way down the back. and that creature falls, but you see two others kind of form up and approach the two figures on the ground that all of you now see. So you're about 30 feet away from this skirmish, and you are now certain that the four figures in black that you've been seeing are the Red Hand. Solace would not know this, but the other three of you do.
They're in black, they're chill.
Yeah. You also, as you get closer, as you get to this 30 feet away, you see that the creatures they're fighting look to be made out of flesh that's crudely sewn together. I want perception rolls.
Abominations.
That is disgusting.
It's a 22.
Okay.
That's a 4.
Okay.
14, 16 for Solace.
Okay.
15 for
All
Calcifer.
right. Calcifer, Solace, and Sarathiel, you kind of stare more closely at these creatures, and you realize that they seem to be made up of several bodies sewn together. And
That's gross.
You realize that the bodies appear exclusively to be dwarven.
Oh.
And I want an Arcana check, and Calcifer has advantage.
That's a 2.
14. You are killing it, Fitzwilliam.
That's okay, I got a 4, so
All right.
I'm right there with you.
And okay. And you said Arcana?
Yes.
I have an 18.
Okay. Fitzwilliam, magic does not exist. There is no magic. What is magic? Magic is not a thing that happens.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Calcifer, you are the only one that notices this. The feeling that seems to radiate off of these creatures is unexpected. Like, you know these things are like, they're not supposed to exist, but the feeling you get from them is not one you expected. You knew they'd be magical, but you feel an intense sense of evil coming off of them. Active, malignant evil. And this is a far more understandable, far more mortal form of evil. Like, what you met in the Dueldian was beyond your comprehension. This is very, very much within it. And it's
Cool.
familiar to you, Calcifer.
I cast Moonbeam on whatever one is farther from the Red Hand.
Okay. Hang on. So, in the time it takes you guys to notice these things, you also see something else happen. One of the creatures swings a broad arm and catches Alnith around the torso. And you see its fingers wrap around her as it lifts her into the air, and she is yelling in rage and in pain. And you hear Maito, or who you've kind of put together is Maito, who's already covered in blood. He's got one arm strapped to his side with his belt. You hear him just like let out this guttural scream, this incomprehensible cry of rage as he charges the creature that grabbed Alnith with his shield. The two figures up on the wall, who you assume are Yados and Eowith, are attempting to bring it down with arrows and spells, but you see the second creature step between the one that has Alnith and the people, and Maito and Yados and Eowith, so that the creature with Alnith doesn't get hit. And you see the creature with Alnith begin shaking her back and forth, and her legs are kind of flying back and forth wildly, and so is her head as this happens. And you all look behind you, or beside you, rather, and you see Yastin and you realize that despite being weak and exhausted, she seems to be glowing. Her eyes are flaring bright white, and she seems to be radiating energy. And she steps forward and literally passes through you.
Raiden has entered the game, guys.
All right. And I need people to roll initiative.
Just let me.
That's not how this works.
Nat 20.
All right, hang on. I need to get a counter up, and everyone needs to get turns.
Okay, what are all of these other tokens?
They are dead. They're similar creatures that are just dead.
Cool.
I'm so glad I changed up my spells at our long rest.
All right.
For some reason, I had some weird thoughts going on here.
Soleil's rolled a 15.
All right, hang on. Solis has a 15.
Fitzwilliam has a 21.
Nice.
Okay, is creature 1 or creature 2 the one that has Alnith?
Creature 1 has Alnith.
Okay.
Kelsifer.
Dude, I'm last. I got a 5.
All right.
Wait,
Let's get my bad rolls out of the way now.
what do I have to add to my initiative to get?
Dexterity.
Fuck, I have a 19.
19.
Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry,
No
my
worries,
bad.
no worries, no worries. All right.
Oh, I got a 6.
It doesn't change the order. So, first up is going to be Fitzwilliam Halifax, the halfling bard extraordinaire.
Okay. I am going to cast Eldritch Blast.
You don't get to make notes on my map.
Why not?
Because I said so. So you're going to cast Eldritch Blast on which creature?
Which is the one that's holding Alnith captive?
Number 1.
Number 1?
Yes.
You know, he'd
Okay.
know that if you had let me make my note on the map.
Or I could just tell him.
The only
I'm
things
going-
allowed on the map are something's oh fuck. That's it.
I'm going to cast it
Oh.
on creature number 1.
Okay, and is that a ranged spell attack? I think that is.
That is.
Okay.
Yes. So the first attack is a 22.
Okay. That
And-
will hit.
The second is a 19.
Alright, both of those will fit.
Stop taking
Okay.
my notes off.
My map.
So the first one does 6 damage, and the second one does 2.
Alright. So you see these black bolts of energy just smash into this creature, and its arm flails back, and you see Alna's body parts flail with it.
Oh, shit.
And
I thought Has Alnith oh fuck fell perfectly within our rules.
you hear Alnith cry out in pain as this creature's arm kind of rears back. Next up is
So wait, did this arm rip off?
No.
Or
It kind of like it kind of recoiled as these bolts of energy slammed into it. So
okay.
next up is Sarathiel, who has advantage on her attack this turn.
Do spells count as attacks?
Yes, but
Okay.
if it's something that I have to resist, I have disadvantage.
Okay. I cast Moonbeam on creature 2.
Okay. What kind of resistance is that? Is that con? Dex?
Yes.
Con?
And I'm gonna cast it as a level 3, not a level 2.
Alright. Okay. Alright, so that is a 15 for resistance. What's your spell save DC?
15.
Okay. So This creature is unaffected this turn, but unless it moves, it will be affected next turn.
Okay.
That's how Moonbeam works, right? It's damage at the start of its turn.
Yeah, but hold on, it still takes damage.
Okay.
That's 5 radiant damage.
All right. It takes 5 radiant damage. Next up is going to be Soleis. I want a perception check from Calcifer, though, before this happens.
That would be a 23.
You see the eyes of both these creatures, and they burn with hellfire.
Interesting.
Soleis is up. Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing.
Yes.
Calcifer, you notice that there's something on the head of creature number 1. And you notice something that you haven't seen in many, many years. Atop this creature's head, you see a crown of mithril and gold, bands of both that weave together, and the metals almost seem to flow like water. And you recognize it as the crown of the king of the Tanars.
Slightly enraged right now.
All right. So,
Slightly.
Soleis is up.
Guys, I'm pissed off.
Okay, don't do anything stupid.
I'm going to help you do something stupid.
Help me do something stupid.
Okay, if you do it with help.
All right. So,
I've got the buddy system.
Soleis, what would you like to do?
Damn it. Lots of things. But I'm trying to make sure I can do it before I say it, otherwise I sound stupid.
Well, you have some extra time, because it's actually Creature 2's turn, because I forgot to roll initiative for it. My bad, guys. Real sorry.
Oh. No, you're not.
I am a little bit. Alright. You guys are all too far away!
Heck yeah!
Not afraid.
Alright.
I'll move closer next time.
This creature is actually going to move toward Calcifer.
Bring it on, bitch.
And it is now within. Are you within? You are within 5 feet. I was wrong. Alright. This thing, this creature, you see, it's absolutely pieces of dwarves that have been sewn together here. And it's going to swing one of its sewn-on arms at you. And that is going to be a 22 to hit.
Let me pull it back up. I do believe that's gonna hit me.
Yep.
It does, and I'm gonna use reaction on it as well.
Okay. To do what?
Let me pull that back up. I'm doing Wrath the Storm.
Okay.
As reaction for it hitting me, it has to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. So it's going to do 10 damage to you first.
That's okay.
And then it has a 17 dex save.
Dex save. Yeah. My thing back up now. It takes half damage.
Okay.
So 2d8s.
What kind of damage?
It's lightning damage.
Okay.
2d8s. So 5. So half 5.
All right. So it's going to take 2. But you see the lightning slam into this thing, and it spreads out over its body, and you see the burns made from Sarathiel's moonbeam heal.
Fuck, I was worried about that.
It's also going to make another swing at you with its other arm.
Okay.
It crit failed, which means it actually swings and it spins around, and it is now, because it falls on its face, it is now prone. Is there a good prone one? Alright, we're going to call that one the prone one. It's netted. Alright. Yes. Now it is Solace's turn.
Dum dum dum.
I know. I just want to fly.
Alright.
I just wanna celebrate.
I am going to cast Hail of Thorns, which is my bonus action.
Okay.
Do that. What? Fine, stupid.
Wait, what does Hail of Thorns do? Hang on.
And I'm trying to send it, and it won't send.
It's alright, I'll look it up.
If you have it, like, shut, like you haven't clicked on the little wheel that brings it up, and you just click on the name.
Okay. Next time you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack before the spell ends, the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 1d10 piercing damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
I like this.
Are you casting it as a first level or second level spell? Or third, or whatever spell slot?
No, I only have 1 or 2.
Okay. So
One.
if you cast it at 2, you do 2d10 of damage. Or you can cast it at 1 and do 1d10.
I'm going to keep it at a level 1 just to see what I'm working with.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire an arrow of heavy gravity from my singularity bow.
Okay, at which creature?
How close are you to Calcifer?
5 feet.
This is 10.
Here, Hutch, move up. So there. There you go.
Calcifer, you motherfucker.
What?
It's 5 feet. Calcifer was 5 feet away from the corner of the creature's cell, so it was still 5 feet away. So, alright, who do you want to fire at?
Hopefully you can make whatever saving throw you need to make because I'm firing it at creature 2.
Alright, so that's going to be a Constitution save first against this arrow of heavy gravity. You also have advantage on this attack, so roll attack first.
This is going to sound stupid. I'm rolling a d20 though, right?
D20
Yes.
plus proficiency plus dexterity.
Plus dex or plus strength?
Dex. It's a ranged weapon.
Oh, there, that's wrong. Alright. 24.
That will hit. So, Constitution save first. And that is going to be... I think that's going to be a 16 Constitution save. Yes, that is a 16 or a 15 Constitution save, sorry. So, what was the DC for that con save of heavy gravity?
actually say.
Okay, what is your spell save DC?
$13.
All right, so it saves, but it's not going to be able to
why
get
is it-
up. Because it's prone right now, and now it's been inflicted with heavy gravity. So, roll damage.
I also hit it with the...
Yes, you will hit
Right.
it. Yes, you will hit it with Hail of Thorns. So you will do roll your arrow damage first, which is 1d8 plus dexterity.
8. Thank you.
Yep.
I was like, I couldn't remember if it was 8 or 10.
It's 8 plus dexterity.
That's a 9.
Okay.
Plus I'm proficient in it.
That's damage does not get added proficiency. All right.
Just kidding.
Yep.
So it's still a 9.
Yep. Calcifer, roll a dex save.
Alright, plus... That is a 14.
All right, you do manage to save. So,
Unfortunately, you still take half damage.
Solace, roll a d10 to do damage from Hail of Thorns.
10.
All right. So, Creature 2 gets riddled with these thorns. Calcifer manages to dodge about half of them, but still catches a few and takes 5 damage. Next up is creature number 1. Creature number 1 is going to walk up to these giant granite walls. He's going to raise the arm he's got Olmith in, and...
Oh, God. Bless it.
He's going to slam...
Drop her.
He is going to slam her into these granite walls as hard as he can. And you hear her scream after the first one, and you hear a gurgle after the second one.
Yes, sir.
Next up is Calcifer.
Don't worry, guys. I got an idea. I'm looking. Make sure I can do this. I am going... So, how does Olmeth look? Does she look pretty dysfunctionalized?
You can't really tell. Her head seems to be lolling to one side, and her feet aren't really moving, but, I mean, you can't really tell. She's mostly hidden in the fist of this creature.
Okay, so there, my movement, 25. Right. Alright, so hold on.
While
One
you're
second.
adding, does Bayorn get his own turn, or does he take my turn?
Bayorn will move on your turn. So, we will say that he was catching up with you this time. So he will move on your turn when it comes around this time.
Next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that goes there, so... Move. Okay. Calcifer... Creature 2 is pinned, right?
Yes, creature 2 is prone and can't seem to get up.
Okay. I'm gonna move. My max speed is 25, so I can be 25 feet, correct?
Correct. Unless you take your action to move as well, in which case you can move a maximum of 50 feet, but you won't be able to do anything afterward. Unless you have a bonus action.
No, I'm going to move my max 25 feet from where I was. There. Then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. On creature 1?
On creature 1.
Okay. So what does Guiding Bolt do?
Flash of light streaks towards a creature of my choice within range, making a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the creature takes 4d6 range damage, and the next attack roll made against that target before the end of your next turn has advantage, thanks to the mystical dim light glittering from the target.
Okay, I would like to point out one thing before you do this, Calcifer. All of your radiant damage has changed to lightning damage, remember?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I thought I only did that on Guiding Bolt.
Guiding Bolt is radiant damage, which means it's actually lightning damage.
Right, I thought I only called it on that, or did we decide all radiant damage?
I thought we had decided all radiant damage, but I could...
Dude, remember what happened last time lightning hit it?
Yeah, it just re-healed itself. Damn. Okay, that's fine.
Roll wisdom. Roll wisdom for me, actually. Just roll a wisdom check.
Doesn't help me. I got a 7, and now I light up like the sun.
Okay. You're level 6 now. Go ahead and cast the spell, if that's still what you want to do.
I'm looking.
You hear, you feel kind of this, like, encouragement from essentially your armor, which you kind of take to be Thor.
Okay. What is this feeling?
That you should go ahead and do what you had previously planned to do.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt.
Alright. Make a ranged spell attack. So just
Nice.
D20 plus proficiency plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay. Wisdom and proficiency modifier, so 4, 5, 6, 7. 16.
Alright, that will hit. Please roll 2d6 damage. So this is essentially half radiant damage.
6.
Alright. These 2 bolts slam into the target, dealing 6 points of radiant damage. And you kind of feel, as you cast this magic, you kind of feel this merging of your understanding that Thor's lightning is also holy lightning, and that's how you can still do radiant damage.
Okay.
So,
and whoever, did I say that right?
Yes. Whoever attacks it next has advantage.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Fitzwilliam, before you take your turn, you see several things happen. Thing number 1, you see 3 silver-tipped arrows just kind of appear inside creature 2. They sprout out of its chest. And... oh no, that's wrong. There we go. And then you see... perfect. Calcifer, you feel a flash of heat up here next to you. And this is gonna take... I gotta check something real fast. Give me 1 second. That is the letter I need. Okay, Jesus. That's gonna deal. Alright. So, Calcifer, you feel a flash of heat explode next to you, and Fitzwilliam, you see a massive fireball explode on top of creature 2, And you all see teeny tiny, less than 5 foot tall Mito charge headlong at Creature 1, screaming, shield raised, blood flying off his shield. And you see him just kind of use this shield almost like an axe at this creature's leg. And you see Yastin. Sarathiel, Yastin was standing next to you.
It was.
Hopefully.
You see Yastin fade from existence. And then you see one of Creature 1's eyes turn white. And now it's Fitzwilliam's turn.
Oh, what?
How do you follow that?
So a massive fireball fell on Creature 2.
Yes, after 3 silver-tipped arrows had sprouted from its chest.
Mm-hmm. And what was that happened to Creature 1? I know that the one eye turned silver.
Yes, Yastin disappeared.
Yes.
Yastin,
and before
Mito, the less than 5 foot tall man of the red hand that was super annoying, attacked it with a shield.
And how does the second creature look right now in terms of, like, is it coming apart at the seams, or?
It still seems to be holding together, though. Like, some seams have sprouted open, some black ichor is flowing out of it, but it certainly seems ready and raring to fight, if it can ever get up.
Okay, this is a tough decision. I think what I'm gonna do... I don't know. I think I'm gonna cast Haste on Solace.
Alright. So what does that do?
What that does is, Solace's speed is doubled. She gets a +2 bonus to AC, has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and gains an additional action on each of her turns.
Jesus.
So
Solace, you can fight twice and move twice as far.
That action can only be an attack with a weapon, a dash, a disengage, hiding, or using an object.
Okay. So, Solace, you feel Fitzwilliam's magic come over you. Fitzwilliam, what song are you singing or playing? Because that's how you do your magic, correct? It's musical. Yeah.
Yes. Fitzwilliam is going to be singing the theme song to one of the Sonic cartoons.
Gotta go fast. Solace, you feel this magic fall over you. And Megan, have you ever drank too much coffee in one day?
She doesn't drink coffee.
Okay.
I've had too much pre-workout though.
Okay, that's how you feel right now. As Solace.
You're like Super Saiyan.
I want to go. So.
And then I am also going to give a Bardic Inspiration die to Calcifer.
All right, Calcifer, you have a Bardic Inspiration dice. Fitzwilliam, how are you inspiring Calcifer today?
I know you got better in you.
All right. Next up is Sarathiel. Sarathiel, Yastin is nowhere to be seen.
I can kind of assume what she's doing. I move the moonbeam from where it was to back over Creature 2.
Okay. Is that another con check?
It is when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time. So that would be right now, right?
No, because it was already in its area.
Okay, so not yet, but on its turn, when it starts its turn there.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna, which kind of fucks up what I was gonna do, which would have been cool. But okay, I'm gonna walk, kind of run over here.
Okay. So you are slightly in front of Calcifer and kind of facing down Creature 1. Roll Perception.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 19.
All right. Alnith is barely breathing, and Maito's arm is obviously broken. The one he's got kind of strapped to his side with a belt. Maito doesn't seem to notice, though. He's kind of got he's got that look you've seen before of like nothing else exists other than the thing that I am going to destroy.
Hold on a second. Is he within arm's reach of me?
No.
God damn it, Maito. Okay.
He's bashing he's bashing creature 1 with a shield.
Oh wait, never mind. I couldn't have done what I was thinking of anyway.
Yeah, because
JK.
it was probably an
crazy.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of something else, which is a bonus action. But
Okay. Maito has not seen you, by the way. Or if he has,
I
he's
didn't
kind of
expect him
he's
to.
kind of ignoring you. Alright, next up is creature number 2.
Which needs to make a Constitution saving throw. Also, I don't think it does, but does it count as a shape changer?
It does not.
Okay, didn't think so.
That is a 9 to save, so he fails.
It does
to save.
not.
Yes.
Shit, as I drop my die.
Alright.
That's gonna be 13 radiant damage.
Alright. Fitzwilliam and Soleil, you see creature 2's skin start to blister and peel away, pulling off of the seams where it's sewn together. You see raw red muscle underneath this skin.
It's wreathed in ghostly flames which cause searing pain.
Yes. It kind of garbles out a scream of pain. It cannot get up and kind of flails ineffectually on the ground.
Nice.
Next up is Soleil.
Work your magic.
What are my new advantages now? I get an extra
Use
attack.
your bear.
You get an extra attack, and your speed is doubled, and you have +2 to armor class.
And Beorn is growling next to you. It's the bear equivalent of hackles are up.
Chris, why are you doing that? You're making me nervous.
Those are dead, Chris. Those are the same creatures, but dead.
Like, don't worry, all of them are in my range.
I don't have a
All
spell
of
that
them.
does animate the dead or anything.
I don't want more of these.
I control
almost took
them.
that.
Just want to point out that at 5th level, I gained an extra attack that
Yeah.
I completely forgot about, so now I have 3.
Yes, you do.
So have
Shoot
fun.
away.
God.
So fucking wreck them.
Prone and stuck in the moonbeam, right?
Yes.
I'd also like to point out, though, that I was approaching the second one, so...
So
Did
you're,
Well,
okay.
the first one, actually.
yeah, you're
technically.
approaching the first one.
That's okay.
The other one.
Oh, there she is.
For my... Oh, where are we?
So what
40 feet?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. My first attack is going to be an arrow of binding from Quillam's quiver at creature number... So
number
let me...
1? Okay. You cut out
Yes.
on 1, but I was like, you wouldn't bind the one that's already essentially bound. So, number 1. Alright. What saving throw is that?
It's a DC 14 con save.
Alright. It makes it save. The binding does not take hold. Actually, you do need to roll attack first to see if you hit it.
Yeah, because you've got those awesome thorns.
That's only on her next attack, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 1 attack only. I can double check though. Let me
That
double
would-
check.
Yeah, but that would be a nat 20, so...
Alright. So you are going to roll your D8.
Thanks.
Oh, actually, are you still concentrating on Hail of Thorns? You would be, because you haven't cast another concentration spell. So you'll also get to do Hail of Thorns.
Yeah, that's why I cast Haste.
Okay. Alright, so what did you roll for your D8?
That was a 5 plus Dex is
Is 9 total?
9 total.
So you fire, and you catch this thing right in the chest, and it's going to deal 17 damage, because it was a critical hit. And then it's going to roll a Dex save, which it does save. So roll a d10.
And we have that, so
Yep.
3.
Okay. So your thorns deal 3 damage to it, and you see 3 thorns stab into Alnith's body.
Wait a minute, I was casting thorns on number 2.
No, you cast thorns on yourself, so it's every ranged attack you do until it ends or you break concentration.
Sorry, Alnith. I'll fix it in a second.
Yes. So what are your next 2 attacks?
Up next. To command Beorn.
No,
Does this count as one of the actions?
No, commanding Beorn to attack is a bonus action.
The bonus, the actual attack is its own thing.
Yes, but that's Beorn's attack and not your attack, so you still have 2 attacks left.
Of mine. Oh well, holy shit! Beorn can hang on just 1 second. Have we determined what fight? I can't do that. Alnith is right there. Fire 1 more arrow of binding
At creature 1?
at creature 1, because I get 2 of them per battle.
Roll attack.
Ooh. Alright, what did we say this is? Plus Dex?
D20 plus proficiency plus dexterity.
Okay, so it's halfway there.
J 26.
26.
That will hit. And this thing makes its first constitution save. Roll damage.
$11.
Alright.
Damn, am I cutting out again? Sorry, guys.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
But only occasionally. Alright, so your arrow deals 11 damage. Roll your d10 and divide it by 2.
4.
Alright. So your Hail of Thorns does 4 more damage, and you see several more thorns bury themselves in Alnith.
And did he make his con save?
He did. So he is
Okay.
not bound.
Motherfucker.
These things are pretty good at Constitution.
You suck.
Alright, what is your last attack?
Wounds on Almond? Nope, I have to touch her.
You're not within touch
Nope.
range. Although someone who has healing word, Fitzwilliam.
I don't have healing word.
No,
You
and-
don't?
And Fitzwilliam's
No,
turn,
I've never had it.
Fitzwilliam's turn is a long time away.
Nope, I can't do that. I can't.
I
do
think
that.
you're thinking Song of Rest.
Possibly, but that's cast at rest.
No, I just
Yeah.
know it's usually a bard healing thing.
I mean,
Okay.
bards can also have cure wounds, but
Anyway, so Solace, your final attack.
Cast spike growth
Alright, hang on. I gotta check something.
as a level.
I gotta check something. So, 1
Okay.
second. Shocking grasps. Sleep. Spike growth. Alright, this is not a concentration spell, so you will still have Hail of Thorns. Alright.
I thought it was a concentration spell for up to 10 minutes.
Spike growth? No, it's not.
Oh, then my book lies to me.
What are you looking at, Duray? Because the one I'm looking at says concentration up to 10 minutes.
Casting time? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I was looking at the casting time. No, it is a concentration spell. So
If you want to give it to her without concentration, that's fine.
No. So you will lose Hail of Thorns once you cast this. So
That's okay. This will last for 10 minutes, so it's actually lasts longer than.
yes. So which creature are you casting this at?
Number 2.
All right.
And I'm sorry, Calcifer, that means you're going to have to make a save as well.
Yes.
Damage.
Only barely. At least you're on the edge of it.
So, ground in a 20-foot radius, twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. Area becomes difficult terrain. When a creature moves, takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
Actually, there is no saving throw for that. That just happens.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Also, the ground looks completely normal.
Yes. So.
Yep. So as long as you guys know that I'm casting at that area, 20 feet around.
So, Calcifer, you will actually not take damage from this because you are right on the edge of it. So you'll be able to basically step off and not move the 5 feet within it. So you won't take damage from spike growth.
You can, however, see the area at the time the spell is cast, so you know it's there.
And actually, this is not camouflaged. Because you're standing on stones. This is a paved area outside the city wall. So suddenly, a very natural-looking area sprouts out of the stones.
Okay, fine.
This would be the perfect time to put Patch O'Fuck up here.
Yes.
Thorns, oh fuck. Actually, I do like Patch, oh fuck.
All right. So, that will be it for Solace, unless you're going to have Beorn try to do something.
Beorn is going to try and make his debut.
Yes.
Shit. His speed is 40, so he can he can make it up to creature number 1.
No, he cannot. He can get within 5 feet of creature number 1. So he could still attack.
His speed is 40. Doesn't that mean he can go 40 feet?
Yeah. Creature 1 is 45 feet away, but Beorn can get within 5 feet of creature 1. Yeah. So Beorn would still be able to attack because he's within 5 feet.
Okay, so Beorn's still gonna go running on up to...
All right.
He gets 2 attacks. Hallelujah.
So you go ahead and roll attack. Roll your bite attack first.
That's a nat 20.
All right. So roll a d6.
You tell me what I'm doing. Oh, that's a 3.
All right. So Beorn takes a big chunk out of this creature, dealing 11 damage with his bite attack. Roll your second attack for the claws.
That's a 17.
All right. That will hit. Roll 2d4.
2 and 4 is 6, plus 2 more is 8.
All right, so Beorn rakes his claws, his big bear claws, across this thing's abdomen, and entrails start pouring out from 3 different bodies, and this thing doesn't really seem to notice, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. However, I get to do an interesting thing because this dude is below 40.
Cough, cough, hint, hint. Below 40 life, guys. Below 40 life.
This thing goes berserk. It howls at the sky. And the first thing it's gonna do is swing its unoccupied arm at Mido. And it is going to smack him right in the chest.
And crush his chest.
Alright. So, Mido goes flying about 10 feet away, unable to keep his ground. This creature is then going to look at Alnith in its occupied hand and slam her into the wall one more time. And that's the end of this thing's turn.
Question.
Answer.
Alright, so we've noticed lightning damage does absolute jack crap. What about necrotic?
You don't know.
Even when I rolled perception earlier?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell what that kind of magic would do to it.
Okay. Why not? Let's try it.
All right.
I'm gonna charge straight into it.
Okay.
Because I have to basically make it touching. I have to touch it.
All right.
Make an attack.
Okay.
Alright. So I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay. Do I have to resist that?
Nope.
Okay.
I just have to make an attack against it and
right.
hit.
Do that. Proficiency plus wisdom.
For a basic melee attack?
It's a magic attack.
Oh, duh. That plus wisdom. And then I can use my Bardic Inspiration dice on that, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. That's a 13.
All right. That will hit.
Yes.
Okay. And now I roll 3d10
Okay.
for necrotic damage. Where are my d10? Uh, 13.
All right. Pieces of this thing start rotting and falling off its body, and it's still up, and it's still howling, and it's still berserking.
What pieces fell off?
A couple of the entrails, and you see a piece of the forearm muscle has rotted away and fallen off its arm. Well,
Yeah,
a part of an arm that makes up its arm.
Okay.
All right. Fitzwilliam, you see 3 more silver-tipped arrows appear out of creature number 2, and it gives its last gasp and begins rotting on the stones around it.
Yay! I'm helping.
You see, Kelsifer, a patch of just black. I need to move Kelsifer for a second so I can. There we go. I need to click on the dude. You see just this burst of black energy slam into that creature, and it deals that much damage. This creature is falling apart at the seams, and it lets go of Alnith. And you see Mido jump up and scream and run towards this thing one more time, carefully sidestepping Alnith. And slam his shield into this thing's leg, and it slices. Mito's shield hits with so much force that it slices through the leg of this thing. But before anything can happen, before the leg fully comes off, Calcifer, I want you to make a dex save.
Okay. Okay. 18.
All right. Calcifer, you kind of dive out of the way as this creature literally explodes from the inside out. It sprays blood and ichor and body parts everywhere. Mito is just dripping with this thing's nastiness. And Yastin is standing where this creature was, glowing, eyes bright, white and burning, and totally unharmed and totally clean and impeccable. Nothing has touched her. But this...
Ew, did she just teleport inside of it?
Yes,
she stole a Matrix move.
Yes,
she pulled a Neo.
She did.
I was going to do something really cool. Okay.
I was too.
I'm sorry, but it's dead, so...
Yay, death. 70 feet.
Okay, I'm going to go... I'm assuming we're out of...
Yes, you guys are out of combat.
I'm going to go over to Alnith, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds as a second
check.
Oh, well, fine.
Could have done this, standing right here, just saying.
True facts.
I'm going to come on up.
Alnith is also covered in the ichor of this thing, so...
I do not care.
All right.
That is a 19.
It resists your medicine because the ichor is stronger.
Alnith is dead. Her neck is broken.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Her ribs have been shattered.
All that coming.
Calcifer, the crown of the Tannars kind of falls from where it was exploded upward and kind of tinkles on the ground. It bounces a little.
Yep, I'm gonna go pick that up.
All right.
Can't you reanimate the dead?
I certainly can reanimate some dead.
I don't think that's the same as bringing her back to life.
But it just literally, I get a dead corpse. That's all I get.
Yeah. He doesn't have revive or revivify, I don't think.
Oh, wait a minute.
Damn it, I should have taken that.
I don't think either of you do.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Sarathiel, Mito comes up, sees Alnith, and he falls to his knees, and he is crying. He is openly just weeping.
Yeah, I'm already on my knees, like, next to him.
Okay. You hear some ropes kind of slither down the wall next to you, and Yados and Eowith slide down the wall, and they approach, and at first they're kind of confused, and then they kind of realize what's happened, and they fall next to you.
Wait! Remembers that we have that potion from the Dragon's Den. Anybody want to try it on Alnith?
It's greater healing. You can't heal the dead.
Oh, come on! It's from a Dragon's Den. How can it not bring back the dead?
Because it's a potion of greater healing.
Not a potion of greater undeath.
Correct.
That would be terrifying.
Well, time out. It died? Or she's just not at 0 hit points?
Alnith is dead. She is not breathing. There's no pulse.
Spare the dying.
It's a little past that.
Yeah.
That's where I was trying to get over there to touch her.
Her neck is snapped. And
I got mend.
Her entire ribcage has collapsed.
I can mend that too. Come on.
I've got ending.
Yastin, Sarathiel, you feel Yastin. All she does is she puts a hand on your shoulder. She doesn't say anything. She just puts a hand on your shoulder.
Sarathiel, like, screams. Like, that's all she, like, she doesn't cry. She just, like, screams.
Okay. The three of you, Calcifer, Fitzwilliam, and Solace, you see Mido, Yados, and Eowith kind of move together, and Sarathiel, I assume you're kind of doing this automatically as well, and they slide Alnith onto Mido's shield, and they kind of lift her, and they kind of begin heading off around the wall of Karoskan, presumably to a side gate or something of that nature.
So, hold on. Dre, those cards you sent me?
Yes.
They didn't have Revivify in it.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking at that spell earlier today, wanting to read it, and I was going to dig through the cards. It's not in this deck of cards.
That's super weird, because I'm pretty sure clerics get Revivify at some point.
Yeah, I have it right now. I'm level 3. I have that spell.
Yeah, you don't have a diamond, though.
You're right. No, I'm just saying I have the spell.
Yeah. I understand.
I'm pretty sure someone in this town has a diamond.
No. It has to be a diamond worth 300 gold pieces.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't we get gemstones from the Dragon's Cave?
Yes, but none of them were of that value. And none of them were
I brought
diamonds.
that up. Yep. Yeah, no.
They
because
were all
I have other
semi-precious stones. They were all semi-precious stones.
We're near the greatest school of magic in existence.
You are
if
also,
someone doesn't have
also,
Revivify...
You are also in a city that's been slowly dying for the last 800 years.
Zahn, help us out.
Zahn's dead. Y'all just don't know it yet.
I mean, he was kind of abandoned
Sarathiel,
in a tower.
Sarathiel, I want you to roll Constitution for me real quick.
17.
All right. Through your haze of anger and pain, you also remember that it's not a rule of the Red Hand by any means, but the members of the Red Hand, almost to a person generally, if they fall in the field of battle, prefer to stay dead.
I was gonna guess that, yeah.
Alright. So, Yados, Eowith, and Mito, Sarathiel, I assume you're helping.
Yeah.
Are bearing Alnith's body on Mito's shield. And they're carrying Alnith around the side of the walls of Karoskan. And all three of them are just crying. They're silently crying. Sarathiel, correct me if I'm wrong when I say I assume you're doing all of these things as well.
Yep.
Okay. And you all... I also assume Fitzwilliam, Calcifer, and Solace are following the group?
Yeah.
Okay. You all see that Mito's obviously broken arm is also being used to bear Alnith aloft, and Mito doesn't seem to care. He's ignoring it or something, because as your group moves through the empty streets of Karoskan, her body does not drop a single inch throughout this entire journey.
As we're walking, Fitzwilliam is playing a lament on his duduk.
This time, as you enter Karoskan through a side gate, there are no trumpets. There is no celebration. The streets are completely empty, the residents hiding inside. The sun shines brightly down on the group of you, though. Mito still dripping ichor from the creature. All four of the Red Hand crying bitterly. The Red Hand continues bearing Alnith aloft, and they climb the tower, this time taking a long stone staircase instead of the escalator. And they just continue they trudge onward. Yastin is kind of there. She's next to Sarathiel. She's not saying anything, not doing much of anything, just trying to be there for Sarathiel for support. She does, however, leave the Red Hand kind of almost silently acknowledging that this is not her place, as the Red Hand breaks off to enter essentially their headquarters. You follow Sarathiel and the rest of the Red Hand, and they lead you deep into this headquarters, deeper than any of you have been before except for Sarathiel. And you enter a room that has nothing in it save a table of stone and steel. And the 4 members of the Red Hand approach this table and they gently put Almith on it. And they cross her arms over her chest, they put her daggers in her hands across her chest, and all 4 members of the Red Hand kneel in front of this table. Their heads are hung low, and Calcifer and Solis, you can see all 4 of them are openly crying. And as this kind of happens, you begin to hear this low, slow roll of an ancient song that dates back to the foundation of the Red Hand. And you hear this song start to roll out. It's being sung by Maito. And it's a song of farewell to the fallen, of sadness that family has passed beyond. And above all, it's a song of remembrance. And as this song reaches its finalist stanza, in which the fallen of the Red Hand are all sung out individually, you hear Maito, his voice full of tears, add Almith Utuk to that list. And that song trails off as he finishes her line. And all of the members of the Red Hand, they're just weeping. And they all kind of kneel there for a few minutes. And then Eolith, Yados, and Maito all stand. And they kind of pass Calcifer and Solis with their heads down, their faces grim. Sarathiel is left kneeling in front of Almith on this table of stone and steel.
I'm actually literally gonna cry right now, so nothing that Calcifer or Solis would see or hear.
Okay. Where do you want to go, Sarathiel? What do you want to do? Because I mean, you're welcome to just stay here, but if you want to go somewhere and do something.
Can I guess where the other members went?
You assume they've gone to their rooms. They need some time to process and to deal. The passage of a member of the Red Hand, particularly a captain, is never easy for their team especially. Usually there would be a grand ceremony back when there were full teams of the Red Hand and multiple of them. Every team would be called back to attend the ceremony, but there's just the 4 of you left now.
Every time you say 4, I get, sadder. I kind of sit sit there for a little bit longer, and then I look up and I look over my shoulder at Solis and Kelsfer and say, I'm going with them. I'm going to Pilon.
Can't stop you.
She nods and she stands and turns and faces them. She says, I need to do this for me, and if you all would come, I would welcome you, but I'm going. And then she just walks out.
As this happens, Fitzwilliam, you
Yes.
see Eowith walk down the hall toward you, and her face is streaked with tears as she approaches you.
Okay.
And she kind of walks up to you and she says, I know you may not agree with what we are or what we do or anything of that nature. I know you do things of your own accord. I'm not asking you not to. I'm asking for your help. And I don't want to die. And she turns and she leaves. She doesn't wait for your response. She just leaves.
Okay.
I'm assuming I have to pass Fitzwilliam.
No, Fitzwilliam is not in the hall. He's outside the headquarters of the Red Hand. You could go and find him if you wanted to, but you don't have to pass by him.
I go to my old room.
All right. You open the door to your old room, and it's exactly as you left it. There are swords, daggers, axes, maces hung up on the walls just as you left them. There's a couple of banners, one of the elven clans of the Dweldian, one the original banner of the 1st Army Regiment you served in Thaneland. And you've got a couple of mementos that you've collected from the team of the Red Hand. You see a small piece of cloth, is essentially a miniature blanket sewn out of silk that Alnith made you in essentially your first couple of years with the Red Hand. She was quite a seamstress, quite a knitter. Not that she would tell anyone, and it's basically this small piece of silk. It's black, and it's got a crimson hand sewn on it, and you remember still the night she gave it to you. It was after your first mission, and you'd seen combat before, but never anything like you saw with the Red Hand, and you were kind of trying to process and trying to reel in from that, and Alnith had walked up to you and she had pressed this into your hand and had walked away, hadn't said anything, just given it to you as kind of a mark of your initiation and your welcome into this family. And you see that lying on your desk, right where you had left it.
Yeah. Then I hold it in my hands and I sit against the wall and I just begin to meditate.
Okay.
And I'm staying there for several hours, so everyone else.
Yes. What do Fitzwilliam, Calcifer, and Solis want to do? Solis, you are very confused.
True. So
where's your bear?
Her bear is actually sitting outside with Xavier and Fitzwilliam.
Hanging out where bears hang out, okay? Don't question the bear. I guess back out Arya and towards Fitzwilliam and Beorn.
All right.
And where Does she know Yastin's name?
I would assume that it's been said
Let's
at
just go
least
with
a
yes.
few times. Yeah.
Let's go with yes.
Yes.
So she asks where Yastin went.
Fitzwilliam, you saw Yastin head up one more story, essentially, toward where the top of the tower is, and head off down a hallway that's up there.
Okay, I relay this information.
Is there anything that we can... See, we can't help the Red Hand at the moment. They're not accepting help. But is there anything we can do for Yastin?
Let's go ask.
All right.
Okay.
Kelsifer, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm following.
All right. So you guys head up this one more story, and you head down the hall. There's only one doorway in this hall, thankfully. It is closed.
Okay, I knock.
You don't get a response.
I
say, I yell through the door, Yastin, we need to talk.
You yell through the door?
Yeah.
You hear, one second. And then you hear her footsteps across the floor, and she opens the door. And she's wearing night clothes, essentially.
Good job, you woke her up.
We need to talk anyway. So, what did you...
The first words out of her mouth are, Sarathiel.
That's what we need to talk about.
She kind of bids you to come in. There's not really any chairs in here. This is her bedroom, so there's a bed and some books. And that's about it.
Okay.
How big are these books? Can I make a chair?
She sees you eyeing the books and kind of calculating, can I make a chair with these? And she just scowls at you.
So, Yastin, the mission that the Red Hand is going on, I have heard described as a suicide mission prior to now.
Yastin kind of looks at you and she says, yeah, it could be.
Earlier, I was approached by one of the members of the Red Hand, and they requested that I join them. And I'm worried that Sarathiel is going to accept any request.
I'm going to butt in and say Sarathiel already decided she was going.
Do you understand what I need you to do?
Yastin looks sad, and she looks at Fitzwilliam, and she says, I'm trying to get her accent straight, and I feel like I've lost it. She says, well, I haven't known Sarathiel all that long. I can ask, but honestly, I understand that these people are her family. I've worked with the Red Hand before, and their family. And Fitzwilliam, you know Sarathiel better than I do. And do you really think she would just abandon her family, suicide mission or not? I don't want her to die, but I can't stop her. This is her family. You know her better than I do. Do you really think she would abandon her family?
I don't need you to convince her to abandon her family, but if she wants to help, this is not the way that we do it.
Oh, really? What is the way?
We can look for some way to make the mission less dangerous, but that's not going to happen if we go with the Red Hand. We don't even know what the mission is at this point.
They are leaving in a week. What are you going to do in a week? They're not going to get that mission called off. They're going to be sent over that wall to figure out who and or what is messing with the magic over there and to stop it.
Oh, is that all?
We can do that.
Is that all?
Yeah.
You can't hear this. You can't hear this conversation.
I know, but this is Casey going. Really?
You do know that the Palania live across the Palon wall.
That's not what I mean. I mean, I already know.
Well, do you know how to stop them?
I know that going across the wall is not the answer to stopping them.
That's
your
nice.
your
They're
enemies
still gonna get
are
sent.
not on this side of the wall, or not on that side of the wall.
That's just blatantly untrue.
Fitzwilliam, I believe you, okay? They are still gonna get sent over that wall. It doesn't matter.
And if I share this information with them?
She sighs and kind of looks around and she says, look, I shouldn't be telling y'all this, but there's more than one reason the Red Hand are going across that wall. And only half that reason is to find out what's going on with this magic.
And the other half is?
Our ass of a city master wants rid of the Red Hand. And you can't just abolish the Red Hand. They have been a tradition in Thaneland since the First Empire. So you can't just wish them away. But if you kill the last remaining members, you've effectively gotten rid of that organization, now haven't you?
What about this said ass of the city?
The city manager.
Master.
Ass of the city.
Said ass of the city. Who appointed him ass of city? Manager. Yes.
It's a long, complicated process.
So?
Is there anything we can do to get rid of the city master?
Not before the mission goes.
You're telling me I can't walk into his office and bash his skull into a million pieces and elect you the new city master?
No, an election would take at least 2 or 3 months, and I'm not eligible. And tradition has, and laws have, that the orders of the last standing city master, if he is killed or otherwise disposed of before an election, stand until the next city master can come and decide whether or not they should be rescinded.
So what we need to do is go there and
Is make it look like an accident.
Convince him that the Red Hand is still worth his time.
Okay.
What
We need
I've been trying to do. You know I have some political clout in this city. I am the Grand Master of the Tower, and I am not an incompetent mage by any means.
But you're using mage techniques. Have you used a water and a board yet?
So
I have a feeling that I might be able to be a little bit more directly persuasive.
Well, I can get you a meeting, but
Lace would like to point out that you did just save the city. So you do have a bargaining chip.
You really think those creatures were going to get across our walls?
They were enough of a threat to warrant the horns.
The horns go off when anything evil approaches. You know that the magisters of the city in the last empire had to shut off the horns because they was always going off when the dragons came by? They go off when the evil's here.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, that is actually really good to know. Well, regardless, why don't you join us in this meeting?
If I join you, your argument is already invalid. I have been trying to convince that son of a bitch for months now not to send the Red Hand on this mission, and he will not listen to me. So if I walk in, your argument is invalid.
What does he have against the Red Hand?
He's terrified of him. See, way back when, after the second empire fell, the city elected a council to rule it. And after a few hundred years, people on that council decided that the rest of the council members weren't great for their ambitions. So those council members turned to the remaining organization of special forces. Those people that could get the job done, that were talented beyond any other. And they were contracted to dispose of the other council members. It ended up that the Red Hand actually betrayed those that tried to contract them and put in place the first city master, someone that ruled this city really quite well. But this new city master, he's studied history. He's terrified that the remaining Red Hand are going to off him, and he wants to get rid of them as quickly as possible. The man's a paranoid son of a bitch, but he's not stupid.
So the Red Hand, these Red Hand people put in power
the first city master. You cut out, so I'm not certain what you said.
Okay, so these Red Hand members put the first city master in power, which big way they put this current council master.
It's not been that way. So, it's not been understood that way for several hundred years. So.
All right, never mind.
Okay, well,
technically, yes, but like people don't see it that way anymore.
Okay, well, we can still meet with him, right?
I can get you a meeting. I don't know what good it's going to do, and it's going to have to be real fast.
Okay, well, at least that's a starting point.
Thanks for listening to this episode of A Conspiracy of Gods. If you're looking for more episodes, you can go ahead and check out the other videos on this channel or the playlist, which contains all of the episodes thus far. And remember to please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to see some more of it. If you're looking for more information about the world, any maps, anything of that nature, go ahead and check out aconspiracyofgods.weebly.com. And, as always, thanks for listening.